Good evening, boys and girls. Welcome to another brand new week here at HSHQ. That's right, the Arsenal come off another fantastic win. Sometimes winning ugly is beautiful. And back in the house is Super Kevin Campbell, who was at the Emirates at the weekend. Can't wait to hear what he has to say. Plus, we have a few other nuggets for you. Let's go.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.
Good evening, boys and girls. Happy Monday. Welcome to another week here at Highbury Squad Central. Back in the house is my podcast brother from another mother, Mr. Super Kevin Campbell.
Squaddies, guess who's back? Back again. Da da da. At ease, squaddies.
I love that song, Kev, because I translate it to you. Guess who's back? Back again. Kevin's back. Tell a friend. Guess who's back? Guess who's back?
Yes, yes. From a good, interesting day at the Emirates.
Can't wait to hear about it, Kev. Right. Before we get to some Emirates chat, because you were there at the weekend, loved all of the insights and pics that you sent to me. I also got sent a lot of pictures from others, and we're going to get to that.
Good. Yeah.
But first thing is first, Simi, this is going to be wild. It's Monday Madness, but it could also be a wild Monday. And here's the thing. We have got some housekeeping to take care of, Kevin. Mm-hmm. As you know, last week, I brandished a yellow card to the entire chat box.
En masse, yes.
En masse during our interview with the...
Yellows everywhere.
I mean, you know, I was just busy.
Machine gun, yep.
Yeah, machine gun Sophie, as opposed to Kelly. So everyone has been sending in their cases, and the advisory board has been reviewing everyone's case to rescind the yellow card. This was by far the most compelling case on behalf of most of the squaddies, sent by Newman, the Highbury Squad Court of Appeal. He also put in quotes from Arsenio Wonga, U to B, Matty K. Basically, looks to me like he was throwing his fellow squaddies under the bus. Sophie, do you want people in here? What do you mean? Everyone's welcome here. Arnie, what's up with you? You're a regular. Yeah, it's so good, Matty K, that he threw you under the bus. Look, what's a dinosaur's favorite curry house? Madrasic Park. And Kev, I'm not sure if you have seen this. You are part of the advisory board. I do believe that other members did see the not guilty Newman Taib, Mark Demsek, Carl Logan, and the others. We hereby demand our red card is rescinded, and Casey is booked for trying to get us booked. See image for evidence.
Well, do you know what? I must say this to you, Sophie, and all the squaddies. I did consult with the advisory board, and it was all going in the favor, I've got to say, of the squaddies. Until Mr. Newman decided to jump the gun. How can I be brandishing a yellow card before the yellow card's given? You gave them the yellow card, Sophie. I didn't.
I did.
So therefore, the board has decided, thanks to Newman, no yellow cards are rescinded. One in, all in. Newman, well done. Old Arsenal trait from the youth team and from the first team. I don't want clicks. I don't want splits. If one person messes up, you all feel it. So there you go. You get more yellow cards, Newman. And all the guys. So, guys, Matty K, speak to Newman regarding what he's done. Not the advisory board. The advisory board just makes their decision.
So basically, Kev, all of the people I presented in the show last week, they
were going to get a pass.
But because Newman did this.
Yep. There you go. Well done, Newman. And all that. Look what's going on in there. Farts all over the place as well. That ain't good, is it?
And look at the picture. He actually got you smiling, you look like he tried to make you look like a Barcelona player, Kev.
Look, that's why the other members of the advisory board said we can't be having that. Because he's trying to stitch me up. There you go. He's one team, yes, that's right. Yeah, oh fudge, you're right, Newman. Oh fudge, yeah. Hopefully it's a sweet fudge.
Oh my God, Super Kev. It's Monday, but you're already on fire, exactly as Trevor says. This is absolutely brilliant. As I said, I have to be and step back and be independent. I gave the cards, but it's not up to me. Super Kev has made it clear as to why you are all now yellow carded and your appeals have failed. Yep. So, unfortunately, they stand and we move on. I would say be careful this week. We are taking no prisoners during this international break. So be very careful, everybody. Apparently you started it, Arsenio. I'm just saying they threw you under the bus as well, okay? So...
as long as they got off, as long as Newman got off, he didn't care. He was chucking people under the bus, but that's not right.
You ever had a teammate like that, Kev?
No, we don't deal with teammates.
In the Graham days, it was all one person screws up.
One person screws up, you all get reprimanded.
And this is what George used to do to all of you, didn't he?
He used to break us. There you go.
All right.
No messing.
No messing. All right, everyone. Well, that's a good way to start the week. I think it's absolute perfection, personally. No appeals. The appeals failed, Vuk, so it's all done and dusted now. Kev was at the game this weekend. And Kev, I don't know if you know, but a whole bunch of people did send me some stuff. And if everyone would indulge me for just a bit, I would love to share these images. I got this from you. This was at the very beginning. By the way, congratulations to every football club and every supporter and fan who recognized, respected Remembrance Sunday across the 2 weeks in the Premier League. It was truly wonderful. Kev, this is you and Albert, one of our new good friends of the show. He was in awe of meeting you and absolutely loved it.
He's an absolute tremendous guy. Lovely young man. And you know what, Sophie? I had some fun. I had a lot of fun. It was very humbling meeting so many Gooners.
I want to show you a couple of other pics because this is Gunnar Solz, who also met you and was in disbelief that he had met an Arsenal legend. And
I've actually been on a pod with him. I've been on his podcast, but we'd never met, and it was really nice to meet him.
Now this looks like total trouble to me right here.
Look at that smile of Magic. Look at Magic's smile. Do you know why he's smiling like that, Soph?
Why?
He's microwaving water. I bought him a beer. Definitely, I had to buy him a beer. Definitely.
Oh my God. Superb stuff. Everyone wants to know if you were sitting in the Diamond Club, Kev.
No. I was in the director's box. That's what I will say. I was in the director's box.
Let's just say Kev was sitting with some folks.
I will tell you who I was sitting with a little bit later.
Okay. All right, cool. I'm going to add a couple more here. I actually want to play a video if you guys would just indulge me for a second, because when Kev goes to Everton games and Arsenal games, what he does is he hangs out afterwards, and he went to the 12 pins. Of course, he knows Magic Mike and Lee Judges and a few other folks, but Kev could get on a train and go home and not bother. But like Everton, Kev, I'm having a brain fart. What's the pub?
The Winslow.
The Winslow.
Yep, the Winslow.
Thank you.
Opposite the ground, yeah.
Gets absolutely inundated. So this is what happened at the 12 pins on Sunday. I love it. Do you know
that was only a small part of it, Sophie. I tell you, it was. What I will say is, Sophie, I will say this: I've not played for the club for a long time. I've supported the club all my life, and I still get humbled when I go into the 12 pins or whatever pub, the Tollington or whatever, and you get recognised and people ask for pictures, and everyone's so nice, Sophie. Obviously, we won, which helped, but I think everybody appreciates what we do.
Mm-hmm.
And, I've met a good few people who really listen to what we do and follow us.
That's wonderful.
It was nice to hear. And a lot of them send their regards to you as well. And thank you for the job you do, putting on such a great Highbury squad for everybody.
I love it. I love it. I have one more video, which I'm going to play anyway. And by the way, when you see Kev holding a bottle of beer, it's a 0-0. It's no alcohol. Just putting that out there. Although Magic Mike is always holding alcohol. There's no doubt about that.
He can't survive without it.
No. And this was right after the game. And I know how much our squaddies love Magic. And of course, I know how much they love you. So I've got to play this one as well. Enjoy.
This is Magic Mike. Magic Mike for the Highbury squad. We're doing a fan cam. Arsenal 1, Watford 0. Some guy wants to do this with me, so I'm going to bring him in with your permission. His name is Kevin Campbell. So, watch the game from the nice seats.
Yeah, nice seats.
Was it posh? Did you get treated the way that you should be treated?
I've got to say, I did put the heated seats on in the director's box, just to test it out that it's working for the winter.
All right.
And listen, I was very impressed today. I know things didn't go all our own way, but we got over the line. That's the most important thing.
Did the players step over the white line and do their jobs today?
Yes, they did. Against a Watford team who I thought they were a little bit dirty, a bit aggressive. Referee didn't protect our players, but we got over the line. That's the key.
The old-fashioned way of beating Arsenal is not going to work much longer. You can't kick us into submission.
That's right.
Because we're better drilled for that. We're tougher. It's the tide is turning.
It is turning, and I asked the question on Ted said yesterday, on Friday, about is there a bit of a foundation being built? You can see there's a foundation being built with these young players. The young players are stepping up. The young players are good. Ramsdale got away with one today. He got away with one today.
We all knew the mistake was coming.
It was coming, but he got away with it tonight. So fair play. And look, well done to the boys. We go into the international break, which breaks our momentum, but we got to win.
20 out of 24 points. My last question is, yellow card for Newman or no?
Yellow card
for Newman.
Big time. And if he wants to challenge it, you know who the panel is. Me and Magic. There you go. So don't challenge it.
You should have been nicer to me when you had the chance. Cheers. Love you, Soph.
Take care, Soph. Bye, darling. Squaddies.
At ease.
At ease. You got to know, mate.
Absolute gold, Kev.
It was, listen, that was early. That was early. That was early at the 12 pins. I'll tell you.
Oh
Newman,
my God.
your art was not appreciated, I can tell you, by many.
Oh God, so epic. Oh my God, Kev, so brilliant. Absolutely great. Danny's saying, wait until you have Mike in your house. He was fun. So good stuff, Kev. Just brilliant being around everyone. Just give us a little bit of an assessment. Not the game yet, but just kind of going. You were on Sky Sports before with Darren Lewis, a good friend of the show, top shelf geezer. Tell us a little bit about your Sunday.
Yeah, my Sunday, obviously, I finished that and got a car over, met up, got to the ground, soaking the atmosphere in, met loads of people, as you can imagine, taking photos, etc. Everyone was in good spirits, which was great around the Emirates, and obviously had to go in, went in, didn't have time for the full meal, so I just had a starter, and I see in there obviously people I know. Saw Paul Davis in there, saw Bob Wilson in there, by the way.
Oh, lovely.
And Megs. And Bob Wilson said to me, the first thing he said to me was, Kev, I thoroughly enjoyed coming on the Highbury squad. Can we do it again?
Oh my God, my heart's melting.
It was amazing. And then I saw Ken Fryer, who obviously was chief exec, etc., for many a year. Know Ken really well. So when I saw him, I saw quite a few people who was in and around it. Per Mertesacker was in there, etc. And then it came to be on the same table that I was on was the person who I sat beside during the game, which was one of my all-time favorite players from the first time I ever saw Arsenal.
Don't kill me, because I didn't want the report until today. You're going to kill me.
I'm going to kill you. It was Liam Brady. And I sat beside Liam Brady for the 90 minutes. And you know what? We were speaking about the game and, you know, seeing what we saw, etc. And we were quite in sync with our thoughts about how the team were playing and what they needed to do. And from the first half to the second half, we saw a definite change. I don't know if the squaddies noticed it, but in the first half, our build-up was a lot more precise. We were taking our time to try and build up. In the second half, we really started getting the ball and started pushing it through Watford and getting Saka on the outside of Danny Rose, skinned him a few times out there. Unfortunately, Sophie, it seemed like it was going to be one of those days. I think I was texting you, weren't I, Sophie?
Yeah.
Is it going to be one of those days, you know, we've got to get over the line? And who came up with the goods? Emile Smith-Rowe. In what was a physical game, Emile Smith-Rowe came up with the goods. And I did say, you know, he's not in the England squad, and I'm happy with that because I want to protect him. But his good form, obviously, a couple of players have dropped out, and he gets his chance with the England squad now. And fair play to him, Sophie. He's playing so well at the moment. He deserves it.
Yeah, totally. Yeah, he totally does. Kev, Liam Brady, when I did the show, the Get Off the Potsy premiere on our channel, he's my number 5 all-time Arsenal player. I mean, I think
he was my favourite.
Kev,
at Arsenal, when I first went, he was my favourite.
So when you first went there, he was what role did he have at the club then?
Well, he was starting. He was playing.
Yeah, was he still playing?
Yeah, he was playing. Yeah, I remember my first game was 77.
Wow, that's crazy. I never think of that because you always to me seem like you're still 35.
So relevant. Listen, I may not look it, but I'm an old geezer. I've earned everything, so I've earned it. My first game was 77.
That is so crazy, Kev. I just don't think of you playing in the 70s. Like,
no, I didn't. I didn't play. I was
I know, but you were a fan, and you were. Give me some. Sorry, I meant being a fan. I'm sorry. But he was that quintessential number 7 role, wasn't he? And it was the first. I think he was just so dazzling. He there was Kenny Dalglish, of course, number 7, who was just fantastic. But Liam Brady also brought that pizzazz, which
and the left
artistic.
footer, and the left footer as well,
which makes it even sweeter.
Sophie, he had that balance and that ability to go past people, pick a pass. He could do it all. That guy, he was outstanding, and he really made me, when I watched him play, seeing that green baize of Highbury,
mm-hmm.
and seeing him perform out there, it was like, wow. Brilliant.
Kev, when he watches the game, when you're sitting next to him and you kind of sitting next to him, and you're both Arsenal legends, and I would just want to be sitting behind you to see the game through the eyes that you're seeing it through as well. Were you talking during the game? Or
constantly? We were
really?
Talking constantly, yeah. Obviously, he's seeing things and I'm seeing things. And because we're in such close proximity, I'm getting a nudge off Liam Brady, and he's saying, Kev, did you see that move there? I said, yeah. I saw him. He pulled on the shoulder of the defender, and he says, yeah, they've got to keep doing that a lot more. And I say, you see the way Lacazette ain't playing up the top. He's pulling out wide with Saka to try and keep the defense apart. And he said, yeah, I've noticed that. It isolates Aubameyang, but we've got the ball, so it can work.
Amazing.
It was amazing. Really interesting.
Absolutely.
Really interesting.
Oh my gosh, that's absolute gold. I actually feel sometimes to do, all these watch-alongs.
Yeah.
I'd love to do one with some legends. You know what I mean? Like when you want to be in a room when they're watching a game. I just want to hear their thoughts, like Bob Wilson. I love that he said that to you. I love that he had a good time on the show. I
loved it.
Oh my God.
He said we've got to do it again.
I love it. And he just turned 80, Kev, a couple weeks ago.
And you know what? He's still sprightly and still smiley. And, the fact that he even mentioned the Highbury squad, he said, we've got to do it again. I so thoroughly enjoyed it. And I thank Megs to her face, gave her 2 kisses on her cheek, and I said, thank you for organising him, and she said, no, it's a pleasure. He wants to do it again, so brilliant. That's lovely.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. So Kev, let's get to the game. Obviously I did the post-game show, brilliant stuff with James and also Taylor from the Los Angeles group as well. We had a really good show on Saturday, but would love to hear your take on it now. This was actually my favorite. Oh, by the way, someone sent this in too. There are a few listeners who want to start a Kevin Campbell Appreciation Society, but they also want a Kevin Campbell Day. So that's maybe something I'm going to work on with the squaddies, Kev. They loved seeing you on Sky Sports. I snapped this shot. Looking dapper, by the way. I love the black and white hanky. In the lapel. That was very smart. But yeah, there's a lot of fans that want a Kevin Campbell Day, and I feel like we could actually make that happen. No, we don't want live commentary from Newman. But brilliant.
None of that.
And everyone endorses it. Everyone wants it. Everyone wants a Kevin Campbell Day.
But I don't know why. So why? Why an appreciation?
Where do I start? Like where do I begin? How much time do I have on the show tonight? Because it's going to go over into beyond Sophie time and everything.
Well, look, that's not my concern.
No, it's because of this and the video I just showed and this. And I mean, what players do we know that hang out with fans after a game? And then, being on
Sophie, I'm a fan.
I know, that's the beautiful thing about you though, Kev.
And that's why I'm on here with you. I am not on here for any appreciation society or anything like that. I'm on here because I love the Arsenal. I love doing this podcast with you, and I love being on with the squaddies. Yellow cards and all.
And we love it too. And John Smith, who was a guest on our show, if you guys remember the defibrillator derby that we did, John is the one that created the image for the Kevin Campbell Appreciation Society. And I love this. In a world of Jamie Redknapp's, be a Kevin Campbell. We can say that. And you're one of us, like Lone Star says, Kev.
Listen, it's humbling that people want to do such nice things, but Listen, I'm just a fan. I'm a fan like any of you are. I love to mingle with the fans. If I go to the games and people recognize me, great, you know. But if they don't, that's cool too, because we all go for the same thing to see Arsenal win. And when
We do.
Arsenal winning, we're happy.
All right, cool. And then one more bit before we move on. I just realized I've been putting up some comments, but little Sophie's in the house, and I know she won't mind me saying this, and I wouldn't, other than the fact that she posted it on her own personal Twitter. Kev, Soph had surgery last week, and she's recovering from surgery. And I would love everyone in the house to send her lots of love. Her
Lots of
recovery is
love
not
and wishes,
easy.
Soph.
Soph, we love
Yeah.
you. We're happy to see you here tonight, Kev.
Of
She's
course, 100%. Kisses. Take good care, darling, and convalesce well. Look, recover, take your time, and make sure you're okay. That's the
Exactly.
most important thing, darling.
Exactly. And we'll always be here for you, Soph. Everyone here sending so much love. And as you can see in the chat, you're getting it. Right. I'm going to stay silent now because all I want to hear is Kev's take on the game. Kev, where do you begin?
I'm going to begin from the start, to be honest. The start of the game. I thought Arsenal started pretty well. Taking their time, controlling the ball and pulling Watford apart. Obviously, you know, it culminates in that first real part. They were solid, and then we started to work them out. We started to get a couple of chances, etc., etc. There was a goal disallowed, Sophie. I think I sent you the video. I was celebrating in the director's box. And then obviously VAR that wiped it out. Saka had scored as well, which would have been nice. But it was a bad touch from Aubameyang that put him offside kind of thing. It just seemed to be that type of day for us. Obviously, Danny Rose, I don't know how he didn't get booked in that first half, by the way, where he takes down Lacazette. You know, he virtually takes his head off. Penalty. And you've got to say, it was a fantastic save by Ben Foster. But it was another opportunity for us to score. I tell you, one thing I will say, so really important. Even though we didn't score and we missed the penalty, the Arsenal fans in the stadium were absolutely brilliant. They were absolutely brilliant. You know, they were singing Aubameyang's name even after the penalty and, you know, supporting him, etc. That for me means that there's a confidence and a trust is being built with the fan base and the team. I really believe that. I could feel that. And, you know, they didn't get frustrated because, let's be honest, Watford were laying down. They were going down. They're the ones putting the challenges in and they were laying down injured. So it was difficult. First half, you know, got to half time, it was 0-0. And we kind of think to ourselves, you know, is it one of those days? Second half, we livened up, Sophie. We started pushing the ball and playing it through. Our midfield, makeshift midfield, I thought Maitland-Niles was outstanding and Lokonga were outstanding too. I really do. I thought Maitland-Niles had a cracking first half and he done a real good job in the second half as well. Ended up playing wide left, if you noticed, because of his energy. And he done great. Lokonga was the catalyst. He was getting on the ball and passing the ball between the lines and, you know, giving it to Saka, and Saka was skinning Rose, but we just couldn't get the goal in. Odegaard came on. I thought Odegaard looked pretty sharp when he came on, a couple of good passes, etc. Probably, you know, for the one where Aubameyang got called offside, he maybe should have shot with his left foot. But he took it past the goalkeeper. Sorry, took it past the defender, shot with his right, and then Aubameyang. You know what, strikers are greedy, so we want to nick those goals on the line, don't we? We're greedy. Got called offside. VAR called it offside. And then we're playing, and what really was good pressure by Arsenal. Watford couldn't get out. We pressured them. The ball broke to Emile Smith-Rowe, and what an emphatic finish. What an emphatic finish. And
Ben White on the approach for that goal, Kev.
Oh, fantastic. And I'm going to get to Ben White, to be honest. Obviously, we go 1-0 up and they start to come at us a bit more because they have to. And I just think this team now have got a little bit of grittiness about them in how to defend. Balls were coming in our box. I thought second half, I thought Tomiyasu was outstanding as well, winning all the aerial duels. Nothing got past him on the outside. Whereas in the first half, I think, remember you texted me, so that Saar kind of tried to move out to his side, and he got done once, didn't he? He got done once, and he had to pull him down and get booked. But apart from that, I thought Tomiyasu had a good game. Gabriel and Ben White was outstanding. I thought Tavares had an okay game, and then kind of as the game wore on, when more space started to open up, he started to get into the game a lot more. But again, Ramsdale didn't really have anything to do, and then there comes that time where he comes out and he misses the ball. And it was a great opportunity, although it was tight angle, it was a great opportunity for them. Luckily, they didn't capitalize on it, and we got away with one. Ramsdale got away with that one. But all in all, Sophie, this was a fighting performance by the team. Everybody who came on done their bit. Everybody done their job. And the key is getting over the line. We say it on air loads of times. I would take a few 1-0 to the Arsenal, Sophie. And what was the scoreline?
1-0.
1-0 to the Arsenal.
And a lot of squaddies wrote saying Kev will love that 1-0.
Yeah, I will.
And
I
a
did.
lot of my saying was sometimes winning ugly is beautiful.
Yes.
Because in games like, here's what I loved, Kev, and I want to get your take on this. I want to start at the beginning and ask you a few questions. I did have 5 top talking points, but we'll mesh them all in.
We could morph them up, yeah. Morph them in.
The offside. Now, someone came at me a little bit on the YouTube comments and said, what are you talking about? Don't be daft. It's offside because of the player, right? Where the player is positioned behind the goalkeeper. And I said, yes, of course, but it seems like an archaic decision, because when there's a player behind the goalkeeper, it just seems nonsense. Kev, a lot of us were like, even George, I was on the phone with him at the time when the goal went in, and he's like, what are you talking about? What? And even though we've been immune to the rule, it just seems like a stupid rule.
Yeah, no matter how stupid it seems, Sophie, the bottom line is you are referring to the first disallowed goal, aren't you? You know, the offside for the first one.
Yes, the first one.
Yeah, but what you got to understand is Aubameyang's touch brings him into play. Saka into play. That's what makes him offside. Not that he was standing there. So if the ball comes to Aubameyang and Aubameyang puts it in the net, it's a goal. The fact Saka, the ball is bad touch and then Saka sticks it in, that's what makes him offside. And it's a hard one to take, because let's be honest, Sophie, we should have been out of sight in this game. We should have been out of sight. But when you're not, these tight decisions could come back and bite us.
Kev,
it didn't. Yeah.
I mean, so the goalkeeper could be on the halfway line, and he could have a player behind him. And obviously, if he gets caught, it's offside, right? It just seems like when we're re-engaging on the rules and reinventing the rules and trying to make the game a little bit more exciting or cohesive, it just seems like a rule that when you look at it in that instance, even as someone who's been watching football their whole life, for a minute I was fuming and I couldn't see it and I couldn't understand it. But you're right, it's the touch.
Yeah, it's Aubameyang's touch that brings Saka into play. Then he's active then. So they're going to have to give it offside. So
yeah, crazy.
It's
okay.
a tough one. Yeah.
Let me get to another one with you here. So one of the things I love the most about the weekend is how salty everybody is about the throw-in and not giving the ball back. I love this. Number one, I don't have any issue with it. I don't have any problem with it, because let's be honest, even as we were getting to get the ball to throw it back in, the player popped back up. Everyone's acting like he got hit by a missile, for crying out loud, Kev. You were there. Tell me what you saw. Ranieri went off on one. And by the way, no one gave zeros when was it Lucas? Was it Lucas who took out Xhaka in the Tottenham game, and we lost Xhaka until January with an injury, and Tottenham went on to score. I didn't see Jamie Redknapp crying about that and bitching like a lady man. I had to add the man so no one came at me with the lady,
Well,
but the lady man.
What you got? What we have to remember is we spoke about the media before. The media don't like Arsenal winning, and the more we win and the more we look good, they're gonna nitpick and try and twist it the way they want because they don't like us, Sophie. We best get used to it. They're coming for us at every opportunity. Because you remember the smoke that they were giving us, Sophie, when we said we're gonna have to put the tin hats on. Now that look where we are, now that we're in the ascendancy, they'll just have little digs now because they can't say nothing. But they'll always be there. You know, they will always be there. Look, the player wasn't injured. He was faking it. Let's have it right. He was faking it.
He was. And I'm not being funny. It's not like it was a head injury or we put someone in danger. And you know what, Dublin Gooner, you are 100% correct. They came out playing NFL football, not Premier League football.
Physical.
They were like our old school Stoke rivalry, where they just wanted to come out and kick players, Kev.
Be physical.
And be physical. And they were
intimidate.
dirty.
Yeah.
And they could have easily had 2 red cards. But I absolutely love the saltiness of how everyone was coming at Arsenal today. Because here's the scoop, Kev. People have complained about us for being weak sauce for how many years? Arsenal are weak.
Too many.
They don't have shithousery. They don't know how to like be tough and what.
Got no cojones, remember?
Correct, Troy Deeney. And now we're coming from a place where, let's be honest, we battled through that game. That was like a scene of Game of Thrones.
Yep.
It was not football at times. It was a bit ugly.
Fuggery sometimes, yeah. It was fuggery sometimes. But you know what? So we're the ones who ended up with 11 players. They had 10, and we win the game. I'll take that, Sophie. And for a young side to be able to dig in and get stuck into them and not back down, they kick hard, we kick harder. That is the name of the game. You want to you want to bring that to us? Okay, bring it. Yeah. And we dealt with it.
And like Trevor says, we didn't have a backbone is what they used to say. That is 100% correct. Yeah. By the way, I do believe I'm trying to find the comment, Kev, but I can't now. But Mrs. Hogg is in the room, and she said next time, make sure Russell gets home a little earlier, Kev. Were you a bad influence?
Well, I suppose I was a bad influence. Look, I suppose I was a bad influence, but let me just say this. I respect my elders. Of course I do. I respect my elders. And if Russell doesn't want to go home, who am I to say go home? I'm a younger man. So I respect the elder. And if he wants to stay and have a couple more beers, so be it.
Oh, my God. That is absolutely fantastic. We love the Hogs, and that's hilarious. I respect my elders. That might be a t-shirt. That might be a t-shirt in the future.
That's another one. Yeah.
That's another one. Kev, I'd love to also get your take on, the more and more I see images like this. Oh my God, just stop me from being a mum. Stop me from going over the top. Just stop me.
And both of them now in the England squad. How beautiful is that? Together. How beautiful is that? Listen, Sophie, one thing I will say, these two are going to be the backbone of this football club for the next 10 years. And we're seeing the emergence of Hayland. This is the new era.
Mm-hmm.
This is where all the players started coming through the ranks. This is the beginning, because now these two are the poster boys for all them youngsters who are coming through knowing they can do it. That is huge, Sophie.
It is huge.
I played with him, or he's a couple of years older than me. I can do it. How do you reckon Aziz and all them guys feel? Patino, seeing these two make it. Now they're in the England squad. Probably trained with each other at one stage. And now they're in the England squad. Sophie, this is so important for the Arsenal Football Club. And the recruitment and emergence of young talent.
Yeah. And I agree, Rich. It is the best pick of the weekend. The only thing that would have been even cooler is if Maitland-Niles was in the middle there somewhere, Kev, because I do want you to just touch on him a little bit more. He's the third Hale boy that was in the squad. When you think about how he's been on the chopping block, he's been vocal, and maybe at times he shouldn't have been. And I respect that he was, and he's fought his corner, and he's always said he wants to play midfield. And what we were talking about on the show on Saturday, and a lot of the squaddies were saying, and we'd love your take on it because they've asked me to ask you, they would rather see Maitland-Niles be given a shot in January when AFCON comes in than have Xhaka back in the side. They feel like he's proving himself. And again, to have 3 Hale boys in that team this weekend, as an Arsenal fan, it just warms the cockles of your heart.
Again, Sophie, this is what I will say. Maitland-Niles at times before looked okay in midfield, and then at times he didn't. So this season, there seems to be a progression in him when he's played in the centre midfield. I thought that game on Sunday was his best game.
Is it maturity, Kev? Has he learned from his own mistakes and maybe arrogance?
Yes, maybe. That could be a really good point to go down. Mm-hmm. I think maybe he's getting a bit serious about his game, Sophie. I'd like to think so, because after clear the air talks with the manager, all of a sudden he's getting more of an opportunity. Okay, you want to play that position? Well, you're going to have to prove to me I can trust you in it. Mm-hmm. And I thought he played very, very well yesterday. Him and Lokonga dovetailed nicely. Maitland-Niles got through some work, I'll tell you that much. I was watching him in the centre of the midfield, made some real good tackles, etc. And ended up, as I said, playing wide left in the end, which was great. So I just think there's a maturity about his game now. Do we miss Thomas Partey? Of course we miss Thomas Partey. But you know what? I think the squad is all right. So, and I back what you guys thought. If we get to January and obviously the Africa Cup of Nations is on, I wouldn't think twice about sticking Maitland-Niles in, because we've seen what he can do today. Now, against better teams, we'll have to see. But that was a physical game that needed somebody to be able to put their foot in and deal with it. And let's be fair, I thought he excelled and done really well in the centre of the pitch. And
like Chris says, the fact that Arteta's now given him a chance, it's not... I guess, obviously, we have issues. We've got Partey injured, Xhaka injured. You got Lokonga. He trusts Maitland-Niles more than El Neni, which is a good thing that he trusts Maitland-Niles more than El Neni. Would love your take. By the way, you guys, I know you're listening to the Highbury squad because you know you're listening to the Highbury squad. But also, if you love that we won, Man United lost, Liverpool lost, and Tottenham drew at the weekend.
Oh, Chelsea dropped points as well.
And Chelsea dropped points.
There you go. Touch it, smash it, lick it, caress it, nut it. It's all right. 1-0 to the Arsenal. 1-0 to the Arsenal.
Kev, another player who I was kind of crucified on Lee's channel when I said I think that he can have as good or maybe even better career than Harry Maguire and John Stones. I threw in there too. Talk to me about Benjamin White, Super Kev.
Man of the match. Really, really outstanding player, outstanding performance. He's got his partner. That's the key. He's got his partner. He's got Gabriel there, which allows him to go and play and join in and make a difference. And he is making a difference, Sophie. But, you know, I keep hearing people telling me, you know, he's poor in the air. Did you see him being poor in the air yesterday? And yeah, against maybe some of the bigger guys, maybe he might struggle at times. But that Watford team were a physical side, and they were trying to intimidate him. They can't intimidate Gabriel, but they were trying to get in amongst it. But he put his body on the line. He made some real good headers. He made some really good challenges. He gets stuck in. He carries the ball out. He makes a difference. He joins in, and he plays good balls from the defense into our players, whether it's at the front, wide, into midfield. Him and Gabriel start everything for us. And I just think, is he justified? I said to Liam Brady, I says, Liam is 50 million. I says, it looks to me that price tag isn't bothering him anymore. And Liam agreed. Liam said, you're right, Kev. He seems to have settled down now that Gabriel's there, Sophie.
Yeah.
And let's be honest, the snapshot of the last 10 games tells you.
And Kev, we've always said, even Xhaka played better because he was next to Thomas Partey. There are certain players that make players around them better. And Arsenal haven't had those players in a long, long time. Everyone is raving about Gabriel. And Gabriel gives
and congratulations to Gabriel as well, Sophie, for being called into the Brazil
incredible.
Senior side. Finally, I think I put on Twitter earlier on, great to see our players getting recognised for good performances.
Yes. And I think it's been so long since we've had this confidence at the back, these players at the back. And someone just wrote, and I put it up, I love the way Benjamin progresses the ball from the back, his confidence. He brings it out. David Luiz used to do that, right? And in his heyday, especially at Chelsea, Rio Ferdinand always loved doing that. I love those kinds of defenders that do that. Carvalho used to do that a lot at Chelsea as well, didn't he, Kev?
Yeah.
These ball-carrying defenders. And Gabriel, though, is like his wingman. But at the same time, I think Gabriel is now grown in confidence that Benjamin's his wingman. And then when you add Tomiyasu into the mix, and you summarize that beautifully, because I felt like he had a poor first half, but what I love is our players regroup and they improve as the game goes on.
How many times, Sophie, have we seen a play? I didn't think he had a poor first half at all. I thought he got done on the bounce against Sarr one time. He didn't have a great game, but I thought he was solid. He got done by Sarr and had to pull him down to got booked. But they didn't get much down that left-hand side at all. Their left-hand side.
Which I thought they would probably expose a lot.
Expose him. That's what. But second half, Sophie, how many times have we seen our right back spot just fall away after not having a particularly great first half? But it just disintegrates in the second half. It didn't. He got better and he got more determined. And the amount of balls that came into our box, and Tomiyasu's head was the first on it, was outstanding. Absolutely brilliant.
So someone wrote too just now, 75 million. Rich, good old Rich. Hi, Rich. How you doing, babe? 75 million for our central defenders. What a bargain. Love it. Now, there's a long way to go, Kev, until May. There is a long way to go. But we also have to, we've been fair. For example, for almost a year and a half, I've criticised Arteta for the Premier League and our poor performances in 8th and 8th. And that's based on what we see. We cover every game and we do a show based on what we see. Right now, what we see is that is a bargain for these two players when you consider some of the wasted money other clubs have invested in their sides, Kev.
Some of the wasted money we've wasted over the years.
Well, yeah, that too.
You know what I mean? No, Sophie, you know me. I like to look in the mirror first. When you look at the amount of money we spent, and we were the highest spenders in the last transfer window. We needed to be, Sophie. And many people didn't believe that the players we brought in could have such an impact. And remember, we were saying, you know, this is Arteta's team now. Let's see what he can do, da-di-da-di-da. But all he can do is set the game plan and the players have to do it. And the players have done it, Sophie. The players take all the credit from me. The manager, obviously, they make the manager better because they do what the manager wants. But, you know, you legislate for the physical nature of Watford, getting over the line, 2 goals disallowed, a penalty stop, yet you still beat them at home. This is key moments for us.
It is. And, you know, when I remember in the summer, and I was critical about, you know, we all lauded Nuno for 2 games, right? Aston Villa, they got Buendia. We lost out to him. We're losers. What are we doing? Look what's happened. Dean Smith has lost his job this weekend. You got Liz asking questions in terms of, you know, Benjamin White looks like he could actually play midfield if need be. And is that possible? And have Saliba playing at the back when he comes back with Gabriel, if he ever does come back. You've got all of these scenarios, Kev. And one thing that with all this kind of positivity, Curtis, it's the players, Kev.
Yes, Curtis. You know that, Curtis. It's the players.
But the truth is, these players have infused. We had a very in-depth, real conversation about our Arsenal Football Club needing to reinvent their DNA and culture because we weren't the same Arsenal, Kevin.
Yeah.
You know, we had changed and we'd evolved into something that we didn't even recognize anymore. And players, like you say, they do make a huge difference because the maturity level, and I asked you this last week and you kind of agreed with me, the younger players have helped the older players re-engage, reignite, reevaluate. Look out, Benjamin White's young. Tomiyasu only just turned 23. You know,
it's a young son. We're the youngest team in the Premier League.
We were the youngest team playing the oldest team at the weekend and the youngest manager playing the oldest manager at the weekend, Super Kev. Mm-hmm. And the maturity of these players, I've never seen anything like it. We've had younger players before and they've been so immature, kind of pricky, really self-centered in a lot of ways. But my goodness, Emile Smith-Rowe, Saka, White, Nuno, Lokonga, Tomiyasu, I mean,
Ramsdale.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I'm not being funny. I was one of my top 5 talking
points.
Maitland
Niles, Lokonga, you know, you could. It's most of the team.
Even the Azizes of the world. And I'm not sure if anyone saw Balogun's goal in the under-23s.
The equalizer.
That should be illegal. That goal should be illegal. Right. Yep. So I want to switch the narrative here a little bit. And good evening to all 540 of you in live chat this Monday evening.
You know what to do, everyone. On the way in and before you leave, hit the like button. Do a Vinny.
Yes, especially if you love that we are now, is it 4 or 5 points above Tottenham? We're above Man United. We're in 5th and we're 3 points off City and 6 points off the top.
I think we're 4 points ahead of that lot, aren't we? I think we're 4. I think we're 4 points.
All right, before I get too carried away, and you guys know, you listen to the show, you know, I love my team. I just want to win, baby. I just want to win. I want them to do well. And that's all I care about. We'll eat humble pie. We'll eat crow. We'll all do it together. It's all good and fine. But Kev, with all this positivity, I want to circle back to the captain and from a striker point of view. Can you tell me what went wrong with Aubameyang this weekend from what you could see in the stadium?
What went wrong was that he just looked a little bit of a yard short at times. Do you know what, Sophie? It's great when I'm in the stadium and I could watch him. I could keep an eye on him at certain moments. And his purpose of his running, he put a tackle in on the edge of our box where he got back and he nicked a ball away from a Watford player who was looking to have a shot. It was outstanding. And he took a boot for it. But just in that final third, again, we're not connecting with him as we would like. Maybe it's because of the way the opposition were. They were making sure they were staying pretty tight to him in and around the box because they know he's a danger. Although, you know, he gets on the end of it. He had a bad touch for Saka's goal, which was disallowed. He gets on the end of the Odegaard shot. As I said, greedy striker. You know, we try and nick it. And I think that might have been going in. So if he leaves it, it goes in. That's a goal. But, you know, I think he was just a yard off, Sophie.
His
Just a
positioning
yard
was
off.
off, wasn't it? It was
Yeah, it was just a yard off.
Yeah.
And for a striker, a yard is a mile. You know,
Yeah.
a yard is a mile. So it's one of them games. He grafted hard for the team. That's one thing I must say. Do you remember we had discussions about Aubameyang?
Hmm?
You know, you don't know what he gives if he's not scoring. Don't know what he gives. I tell you what, he ran hard. He worked. He grafted. He ran the channels. He done everything. He was winning headers. He helped the team, but goal scoring wise, he just was a yard off.
Yeah, and I would agree with Gene here. He was trying a bit too hard at the weekend because he wants to impose himself so much on the game. He wants to reward, and missing the penalty, I think, was another.
Made him try harder. Yeah.
Yes. Kev, would you take him off penalties or would you keep him on penalties? Would you put Lacquer on penalties? Do you kill his confidence when he's trying to bring it all back if you do that?
Yeah, I think the next one, I would let him have it. And if he doesn't obviously take the chance, then somebody else would have it.
Yeah. So let's talk about Odegaard when he came on as well, because obviously he's not been able to get into the first team. He's been on the bench the last few games, and I think, rightly so. When he came on, he was very effective. Could have had a goal again. The captain just kind of got in the way.
Striker.
Yeah.
Tried to nick it.
What was your take on Martin when he did come on, Kev?
Yeah, I thought he done pretty well. He's been searching for a little bit of form, as you rightly said, Sophie, and he came on in a game that was physical. I thought he worked really hard when he come on. He was pressing, but he played one ball, Sophie, if you remember it, from right to left with his left foot, and it was incredible. That's the type of quality that he's got. We need to see more of it, obviously, but he's actually not been in the team, so the fact that he can come on and make a difference helped. We could have done with that second goal, couldn't we, Sophie? We could have done with the second one.
Yes.
But hey, at the end of the day, he came on and he showed what he could do in the little time he had on the pitch. That's all you can do sometimes because you don't get the opportunity to score. So,
do you think it's fair to say that maybe he should have come on a little bit earlier? Maybe Aubameyang could have been taken off?
No.
No? Are you happy with Arteta's timing of his subs?
I tell you the reason why I'm happy with the way the subs went is because after the goal went in, Watford started to get more of a grip in the game, and we went 5 yards further back. So we're under the cosh. For a player to come on, he's not just going to all of a sudden straight away start getting on the ball and we're in the ascendancy. They're going to have to play them. They're going to have to get themselves up to game speed. So the longer it goes on, and then you kind of weather their storm a bit, and then you bring them on. I thought they came on at the right times when we needed them. Could have had another goal or a couple. Obviously, got a player sent off, but sometimes, Sophie, that makes them throw caution to the wind. And that's what they done. They could throw people forward and you've got to defend it. So I'm just so pleased we defended right. I know Martinelli, we'd probably want him to get 20, 25 minutes at times, Sophie.
His time's going to come in January, Kev.
His time is coming, that's for sure. And I just hope he's ready. He looks sharp, but I just hope he's ready because we're going to need him, Soph.
We are. We're going to need him. We're going to need Odegaard. We're going to need Lacquer. Yeah. We're gonna need Maitland-Niles in midfield. We're gonna need them all. I want to put this up real quick before we wrap up my final question for you this Monday Madness Super Kev, because it's an interesting one and a lot of people have not come at you in the chat, but they're saying,
"Oh, they come at me." Yes, that is what I'm saying.
So if we get
what part of Aubameyang is still on the penalties? Don't you understand?
The porn person's back. Hold on, let me just block them.
Let everybody in chat understand. Aubameyang is the penalty taker. He misses another one, then you could say, right, we take you off penalties. But I would give him the next one. I would. That's me. I would.
And Arteta said that he's going to keep him on penalties as well. So it's
Yeah,
interesting.
don't
very
kill him.
interesting.
Don't kill him. Don't kill his confidence.
I think it's a bit tricky. I think it's a bit tricky to when he's just rebuilding his confidence. He has a bad game. Let the international break go. Let him regroup. Come
Let him
back.
get a couple
and
of games,
see
a
what
couple of goals.
happens.
Let him get a couple of goals on international duty, and he'd be buzzing.
Yeah, exactly. And sorry, everyone, I did block the porn person that was trying to get all of your attention. I know I upset a few of you by doing that, but do that in your own leisurely time. All right, Kev. Josh Kroenke was at the game at the weekend, and I was saying to the Arsenal Los Angeles group, how cool is it that he's actually wearing an Arsenal coat and he wasn't wearing a Rams coat? He did the interview as well, which I thought was interesting and very confident. And we've always said on this show, the Kroenkes aren't going anywhere. They're not selling to Daniel Ek, and you don't want them to either because he doesn't have a smidgen of the money that the Kroenkes do. I know his dad's in a bit of a trouble with the lawsuit in St. Louis right now, with the city and all that jazz. But Josh Kroenke is more of the face of the Kroenkes for the Arsenal. What did you make of the interview, Kev?
I thought it was okay, to be honest. I know. Look, I know you could look at the Kroenkes and think, they're not supporting the club fully, etc., etc., etc. But the turnaround, they've had to get rid of people, root and branch. We've had so many false dawns with recruitment, etc. And remember, people having a go at Arteta and Edu, don't know what they're doing. They're amateurs, they're novices. Remember that, Sophie? The amateurs and novices. But look what's happening. Look what's happening. Let's give people a little bit of time to do what they need to do. Obviously, Josh is the face of the Kroenkes at Arsenal now because his dad's in America, and he's good to see him at the game. He's at the game, and he's thinking positive about Arsenal. He's thinking positive about Arsenal. So, again, there's good and bad. People can look at it whichever way they want, but the fact of the matter is, Arsenal are building a foundation of youth, and the youth are learning very quickly. That's what makes him be able to come out and, communicate. I think it's important. And whether you like him or not, he's still one of the owners. So you've got to, let's listen to what they've got to say. It's important for us.
Yeah. And I know a lot of you are putting in, Wenger said a lot of things. Of course, the movie's coming out, and Magic Mike and some of our other friends sent us these pics from the Wenger Dean
at the Palladium, isn't it?
Palladium, going on this evening. That's Patrick Vieira in the house. Your very good friend Pat Rice there. Yeah. Super Kev as well. It's all well and good now saying I should have left in 2011 because I'm sorry, it just makes it sound you didn't want to leave in 2011, and don't make it. Look, I'm not defending the owners here, but it's always easy to just point the finger at the owners all the time. It's their fault, their fault, their fault, their fault. No one's complaining about the owners now that we're playing well on the pitch.
That's my point, Sophie.
You want to say you could have left in 2011? Why? Because that's when the Kroenkes came in. Didn't they have full power as well? 2-3 years after that, anyway. It's always easy, isn't it, Kev?
No, they didn't have full power. They didn't have full power. They only got full power when they bought Usmanov out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And I think that was a little later than, I don't know the exact
year. That was only a few. That was only a few years. It was only a few years ago. Yeah, it's not only a few years ago. Yeah.
So it's kind of rich saying that. 2018. Thanks, Tammy. And Russ, it's not the owner's fault. So right now we're on a run, okay? And we're winning. I'm not saying this is gonna be our season, Kev. We don't know where we're going to finish yet. It's a long way to go.
Yeah.
But right now, everything's cool and dandy. Who's complaining about the owners? And the owners actually come out and done an interview. They're damned if they do, they're damned if they don't. Same way where people say Arsenal have been weak sauce and don't fight hard enough on the pitch to defend themselves. Now we do. We're arseholes and we don't have sportsmanship. Come on.
You never, and again, here's the thing. If you got it in your head that they're the problem, which about investment, and the Arsenal have spent a fortune, Sophie. Arsenal have spent a fortune over the last 5 years. They have.
Mm-hmm. I do believe
just the recruitment hasn't been right.
Exactly.
Until the last couple of seasons.
Right. And Texas Gunner, I do believe there's a little bit of that. It's the same with United fans and the Glazers, Liverpool fans and John Henry, which, by the way, Liverpool fans shouldn't complain at all about John Henry, my personal opinion. Jesus Christ.
They should thank their lucky stars.
And this whole notion that Americans don't know football. They don't soccer. They're business people. They run franchises. This franchise, the LA Rams, probably now is worth more than the Dallas Cowboys. It's insane. LAFC here is worth like more than Newcastle United, so American owners aren't stupid. And someone just said also that they're learning on the job. And maybe, yeah, Arteta's learned on the job. And some of you have loved that. And some of us have not enjoyed that. So, okay, Gunnar, 62.5% shares since 2011. Are you sure it's 2011? We'll have to check that stat. But clearly you're very passionate about this, Gunnar. I just think that the owners...
but what does it mean?
In terms of power and control.
No, but what does...
And
because they've got the majority share, because they've got the biggest share, they don't buy the players. Because... Again, Sophie, football is all about the players. It's all about the players. You could have the biggest and best. Well, look at Manchester United squad. And look what they're going through. So, is that the Glazers? Or is it the players? And the management team having to get the plan right to put them in the best opportunity to win?
Also, they gave the power to Wenger and Gazidis. They trusted them to make the right choices, like a lot of owners do. And the problem with the Cronkies is sometimes they trusted the wrong people to make the big decisions. That's their mistake. That is the mistake they've made. What some of you guys want is for them to put their hand in their own pocket the way Abramovich does. But the same way people complained about Mike Ashley, he left Newcastle in the black. Say what you want about Newcastle and his reign. If people want to talk about football being business and about profits, he left Newcastle in a really good condition. And you know what? I will mention Arteta and Kroenke in the same breath again. You know why? They trust Arteta. They've given him the keys to the kingdom, him and Edu. And there's a reason for that. But you cannot blame the Cronkies when we were playing bad in the Premier League. Arteta picks the team. Arteta picks the formation. Now we're winning. Arteta still picks the team and he still picks the tactics. Mm-hmm. So as critical as I've been of him, right now, he's picking a good team. He's got better players and we're doing a decent job. And collectively, we're performing as a group, as a unit. Are you going to complain that the owners still don't know what they're talking about and what they're doing? That's a whole other show, Kev, that we can get into on that one.
And you know what? We could do a show on that, to be honest, couldn't we?
Yeah.
We could do a show on that. But again, Sophie, I've said it all. Winning cures everything.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, if Arsenal winning, who cares whether Kroenke... Who cares what's going on? Who cares? I want Arsenal to win. That's what I want. I want Arsenal to win. I want Arsenal to be the best. And we need to get there. That's what we need to do.
Yeah. I just think it's a bit rich that they trusted Wenger for so long, GD, and you're right. And then he's coming out saying, I should have left. There's a hidden veil to it. Dude, yes, you're a legend.
Keep quiet.
We have a gold trophy, but stop. Just stop with the old school. I should have left. I should have done this. I could have bought this player. I could have bought that player.
Shoulda, coulda,
I could have
woulda.
done that. Shoulda, coulda, woulda. End of story. Right. What else do you have, Kev? Anything else?
Yeah, and Sophie, when he had the opportunity to leave after the FA Cup final,
The whole one, the whole FA
he
Cup.
he decided to sign another 2
He
years.
did.
He did.
Yeah. He
So
did.
obviously, he never what. Listen, let's be honest. Arsene Wenger is a legendary manager. He's a great man, and this ain't no shots at him. But
Oh, I'm
let's
taking
not,
shots at him
no,
right now.
no, but it's
I
no
am.
shots at but it's no shots at him.
No, it's just the truth.
It is just the truth. The truth of the matter is, he could have left if he wanted to. He was on a good screw. He was running the show.
Yeah. Wenger is the GOAT
Yeah.
of our, he's the best manager.
We've
doubt
ever
about
had.
that.
Nobody is arguing with that at all.
But he outstayed his welcome a little bit. And to say he should have left earlier now, he's trying to change the narrative. And that's what doesn't sit well with me. Right. Kev, what else? Anything else before we dart off into the sunset?
How were the squaddies after the game yesterday?
It was great.
Were they good? Were they happy?
They were very happy. There were very few complaints. It was very calm, very positive. Everyone enjoyed the fact that we won an ugly game. They were a bit... Aubameyang was the biggest bone of contention for people yesterday.
Okay.
And a lot of people also thought, because I put the question out there, Kev, that it was a humbling moment for Aaron Ramsdale to have that mistake.
Yeah.
And a lot of people agreed.
Check yourself.
Check yourself before you go wreck yourself too much, kid. Yeah. Yeah.
Check yourself before you wreck yourself. I know you play to the crowd and all that, and that makes you, but do your job.
Yeah. Exactly. Yeah. And I could see the indecision from White at that point. He's like, oh, what do I do? He's coming. And he wasn't expecting him to come.
Yeah.
But luckily, Josh King couldn't
convert it.
No.
Convert it.
Couldn't hit it with a map and a compass the other night. That's for sure.
I'll tell you what, all the air went out of the stadium when Ramsdale went past it.
Oh my God.
And then when he hit the side net, and you knew then.
It was a collective sigh. It was a collective sigh. Ray, do you want Kroenke out? Yes. They're not going anywhere. They're not.
Yeah. Again, people do a Kroenke out. I understand it, but they are going nowhere.
Right. Exactly. We love George Graham on this show, Los Angeles. I mean, this guy right here could tell and does tell amazing stories about George Graham. You know what we will have a conversation about Josh Kroenke's interview in a little bit more depth. I also want to talk about the photograph everyone kind of went crazy about. We're going to talk about about the representation of Arsenal. I think we just need to calm our jets a little bit on stuff like that. I mean, I'm a woman. There was no woman in the shot, but we can talk about that on another show this week, which we will do. We will also talk about Arteta's interview as well, because a lot of people have asked about what our thoughts are on that. Elokshkin, where have you been? We miss you too. Right, Kev, 1 hour, 12 minutes, your big return. It was a good one. Brilliant stuff. You had so much fun going to the game. It was great to see. Love all the pictures. Love the vibe. Love it all.
Yeah, absolutely outstanding. And you know what, Soph? Obviously, the last time I was at the Emirates was during lockdown. And I'd done a game for Amazon. And obviously, going back to the Emirates with the fan base there, I got the feeling that everybody's happy to be there. Everybody enjoyed it. And you know what, Sophie? When Arsenal got a winning team, it makes it so much sweeter. It really does.
Kev, I've forgotten how much fun it is, how much fun football is. I had forgotten how much fun football is.
Sophie, I've got something to say, actually.
Uh-oh, have I done something?
No.
Okay.
No. Do you remember when we go to Burnley and win?
Mm-hmm.
And Burnley are a crap side.
Yeah.
Burnley go to Stamford Bridge.
Get a point.
And get a point. What do people say? What about
Brighton at Liverpool, 2-2?
Brighton at Liverpool, 2-2.
Yeah.
What do people say? You see? So, again, Sophie, in the Premier League, you cannot point the finger. These are a crap team and that's a crap team, because anyone on their day could take points off you.
Yep.
That's the nature of the Premier League.
And Kev, you and I have said, yes, we passed the Leicester test. We passed the Aston Villa test. There was a team that was lauded. Yes, they're a bit different this season, but everyone was lauding their signings. Everyone was saying that we failed not getting Buendia. We beat them. We beat Leicester. We beat Tottenham. And we've got Liverpool, Man United, and then I believe West Ham is also coming up. There's going to be big tests for us again, and we have to continually overcome these hurdles in order to build our consistency. Jeff, I know you don't want us to go, but we're going to have to go, unfortunately. So, yeah, we've got a long road to go, Kev, but one of the things I think people need to separate is being happy that your team's winning again versus thinking that just because you're happy, you're going to win everything. Oh, now the Cronkies are great. Now Arteta's great. Oh, now you know. No, tell them, Kev.
No, it doesn't go like that. We're happy, Arsenal. If you give me Arsenal winning or Arsenal losing, what are you going to take? You're going to take Arsenal winning.
Yeah.
Arsenal winning doesn't mean we're favourites for the league or we're going to smash, the next 10 games. No. But you know what? It's a lot nicer when people have better weekends. You win on a Sunday where some of your rivals have messed up. It makes for a better. We've had some pain, Soph. We've suffered some pain. You remember how we're feeling after Villa last year at home? Burnley at home last year.
It was brutal.
We were in pain. I'd much rather Arsenal win and we have good weekends. How long this train is going to keep going? Hey, I don't know. I've no idea. But you know what? I like it. I like what I'm seeing. I like the camaraderie in the team. I like the fight in the team. And I like the fact that we can win ugly. I like it. I love it.
Yep. And also someone wrote the agenda against Arsenal is real. In a time where everyone wants to throw darts at us and everyone wants to give us crap. We do one thing, we're damned. We do another thing, we're damned. We stick together as much as we possibly can. Whether we agree or disagree, it's our club. Kev?
And, Sophie, let me just finish with this. That lot down the road never had a shot on target again.
Not one.
Listen, we know one thing they can do. They can destroy managers. So he's got 18-month contract and you never know what's coming because he might be gone before you can blink. I tell you.
God, can you imagine?
That would be brilliant, wouldn't it?
Hi, Antonio. It's Mr. Glazer here, the owner of Manchester United. I know you just signed up with the Tottenham Hotspur. Is that what they're called? Well, listen, how about I buy out your contract and get rid of this Norwegian guy?
Listen, that's all he's got to the end of the season. If he any more crap, he's going to be gone. I don't like to say it, but they're just not playing well enough at the moment. So,
Kev, the longer he's there, the better for all of us. Oh, it's grand. It's so grand to watch. All right, Kev, you take us out. We'll be back tomorrow night with more good stuff here on the Highbury Squad. For the rest of the week, back to our usual time at 8 o'clock. Kev?
Squaddies, as always, thank you for joining us. Thanks for hitting the like button on the way in. And if you haven't hit it on the way in, hit it on the way out. Touch it, caress it, nut it, smash it. All right. Sophie, host with the most, as always. Thank you so much for providing, for doing that after match, post game yesterday, and giving me the platform to enjoy my time at the Arsenal. Yeah, you gave me the platform to show you get showed the pictures and the stuff like that. So I really appreciate that. I appreciate you. But squaddies, listen. We're in this together. After the last international break, remember, we drew against Brighton, and it was, we're not quite there. We played okay, and we got over the line in this one. So do you know what? We're fifth in the table. Let's enjoy our little break. We know we don't like it because it breaks momentum, but let's enjoy it, and we're going to see you tomorrow, squaddies. good evening, good night, good day, good afternoon, and take it easy. At ease, squaddies.
Mind the gap between the train and the platform. Please stand clear of the discussion doors. The next stop is Highbury Squad.